Okay, so here we are again. I've gotten several requests to show a little bit about how I fabricate my stoves. As you can see right here, I've got this green water heater in the front, and then I've got this white one in the back. When I'm done, these will be a brand newly minted double barrel stove. So I'll kind of try and give you a little bit of insight as far as how it works, what happens. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to skin both of these down to get their tanks out. So once I get that done, then we'll be back. Okay, took a little bit more than about a half an hour. This was a pretty easy disassembly, so I'll show you what this looks like. This was an electric hot water heater, so this little plug right down here would have been your drain. This would have been the lower heating element. Up there would have been the upper heating element. As you can see with this one, it was a little stubborn. I had to take it out with a torch. But there's the upper. And then this is the interior tank. This is what they look like. Heavy gauge steel. Eventually, I will get rid of all of these connections and I will just section this piece off right here to make the probably the bottom tank with this one, the firebox. But yeah, over here, like I said, this one came off really easy. So you know, there's the little bit of the access covers. There's the outer skin. This was an older model, probably from the 70s, so just fiberglass insulation inside. There's the top and the bottom, and we'll get started on this one next. Well, as the expression goes, even a blind dog will find a bone every now and again. Can't believe the luck, because I managed to get both of them as simple teardowns. Again, this is the second tank, and again, you can see the same features. Here was your upper element, that actually spun out. Here was your lower element, and believe it or not, that one spun out too. And then this one is your drain. So you can see I've got the other tank sitting over there. I got this one here, and there is the actual sheet right there next to the olive green, I guess you'd call it. It's unusual. Most of the time these have to be cut off, and then sometimes they have foam, sometimes they don't. So basically what I'm left with now is two tanks to work with. There's the one, and again there's the second, and then a big pile of insulation and some miscellaneous parts. So on to fabrication now. Okay, really quick before we get started again, this is the last tank. What I've done is I have measured out one end over to where I'm actually going to section this off. This end right here will come off, and then I will recycle that actually. It's just easier than having to deal with all these little pipes and filling these holes and that sort of thing, as well as making a door on the outside of this. So that'll come off. I'll put on a new plate on that end. Keeping it simple, you know, this is the bottom one, that's the B. This will be where our back stack is. These are the bottom two. This was what was the bottom heating element, so this will be where the back stack is for the smoke and vapors. And then this one right here, what I'll do is I'll camouflage this underneath the support for the upper tank. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to grab our grinder, and we're going to start cutting. Okay, so here's our bottom tank again. And you can see it's nice and flat now on one end. I've cut that off. This little pile right here, this is the calcium and mineral that ends up developing deposits inside the bottom of the tank. This one's pretty dry. See, it's just pretty powdery. Let's see if I can, but yeah, it's just powder. I have seen these to where they're buried a foot deep in these tanks. So yeah, this one's not too bad. We'll get busy on the top tank and then we'll be back. Alright, and there we have it. Two barrels ready to go together. That's the bottom, that's the top, and remember when I told you that you had a considerable amount of sediment sometimes in them? Well, there you go. That's probably about 6 inches deep and about 18 inches across, plus all of that, plus all of that. So yeah, that was probably a good, I don't know, probably 6 inches deep in the bottom of that tank. Part of why they go bad. And there's no real way to get it out other than just to drain your tank every now and again, and I don't know of anybody who actually does that. So on to the next step. Okay, so I'm going to combine a couple of steps here. This is nothing more than a piece of 12 gauge plate steel. I've taken the top drum, in this case, turned it upside down, scribed the circle of the drum from the end that I just cut out onto the steel. I'll cut that out with the torch, and then it's got to be welded on. Then I need to do the exact same thing for the bottom one, because with these double barrels, you're basically making two stoves, just connecting them in the middle. So that'll take me a little bit. Once I get it welded and ground down, then I'll come back to you here. Okay, so I've got one end on one of the tanks. Still need to do the other one, but now we've got it all polished up, all cleaned up. So this will eventually, I believe this is the top one that I'm working on. This will just become the front of the top tank. That's what I was trying to get to when I was telling you that we cut it out and we set it on there. It actually starts like this, where we've got this rough cut piece right here, and then that will be welded on, ground down until we look like this. So on to the second tank. Okay, so we got several things going on right now at the same time. I have cut the piece of pipe I'll be using as the stack in between the two tanks. I've finished up the end of the bottom tank here. I did the top tank originally. I have added a small support bracket right here on the top tank that will help, or the bottom tank, that'll help support the top tank. I've cut the hole on the bottom tank and filled this little plug right there. That was where the drain hole was. So that will be where the stack goes between the two of them. The door will actually be on this end when I'm done. And then this tank is getting ready. I've got it marked out down here, as you can see. I've got that. That's where I will put the in-between stack, and then I'll flip the tank over and cut the exhaust stack on the other side. And then this piece right here, I've started cutting for the legs and support structure of the stove. So all that's going on at the same time. I'll be back when I've got a few more things done for you here. So the next couple steps we've done, this is the top tank right here. Gone ahead, cut and fit the top exhaust stack. That'll be the 6-inch outlet for all the smoke. And as you can see down here, I have my 6-inch inlet. That's going to go up into the top. That forces your smoke and your gases to go across the length of the barrel right here. There's my bottom barrel. We'll be connecting those. The next step is to take this, and I've made the leg stands right here. So those are the legs, so I'll just set that on that. I'll get that welded up, and then we'll drop the top one on. We'll weld that, and then we'll get into the door fabrication. So it's become painfully obvious to me that I'm not Steven Spielberg, and I can't even remember which way to hold the camera. Sorry about that. But I'll continue on here real quick. You can see I have both barrels welded together. I've got the bottom barrel welded with that mid stack right there, and then there's your exhaust stack. That's all done. Legs are on it. I've begun the door fabrication. All I've done is I've come and I've cut my hole for my door. There's a couple hinges on the right that you can see that those are welded on, and then there's the door catch right there. The door itself over here on the table, that's going to be our actual door. And then the last thing that I have to do right in here, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put an air inlet, and that's what I'm working on right now over on this bench. And so I've basically tapped out a plate for it right here. That'll be that. Here is my air inlet. This will go on here like so. I'll put a catch in the middle of it, thread that, and then this whole unit, once it's built, will be inset into the door. I'll attach a handle to it, and then they can go ahead and you can open it and close it for as much air or as little air as you need. So that'll be the next step. Okay, here we go, final installment. So here is the door. And again, it's like in my other videos, it's nothing fancy. You just lift it up and open your door. There's the damper that, the air inlet that we installed. And it just, you can open it or close it however you want. So, that's pretty much it. all I'm going to do now, I'm going to take it out. There's a bunch of, if you look closely on these barrels, you'll see this shining right here. Some of them have a little insulation on them. That's just glues and such from when they install these things inside the outer skins. So all that needs to be burned off. That's just it, paint doesn't stick, and it's just not a good thing. So I'll take that. I can't see any real reason. I'll go ahead and I'll end this video here. Because all I'm going to do is do a good solid burn on it. And then we'll paint it and it'll be ready to go. So thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate your patience on this. Sorry about that little blurb in the middle there where the screen changed on you. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you.